Welcome to your first lesson on Pythagoras' theorem. Hopefully by the end of this lesson you should be able to calculate the lengths of missing sides on right-angled triangles. Now to start, Pythagoras was a mathematician a long time ago, and he realised on a right-angled triangle, if we calculated the area of the square made by one side of the right-angled triangle and added it to the other area, we would get what he called the hypotenuse side. This longest side of a right-angled triangle is called a hypotenuse. He found out that the areas of the two sides always added up. This one plus this one always made the area of the hypotenuse squared. And therefore, from there he got his Pythagoras' theorem, which said that the side of A, if this was A, the side of B, if this one was B, would always equal to the side of C, the hypotenuse. I'll put H there for hypotenuse. So A squared plus B squared equals H squared. Now the actual formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We just need to remember, always make sure that you know that C is the hypotenuse. That is the longest side on a right angle triangle. So let's have a go at a couple of examples then. First step is to label our triangle. So we've got A, B and C is given to us already. Now our formula we need to recall is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Where this time A is 5, so we've got 5 squared plus B is 12 equals C squared. 5 squared is 25 plus 12 squared is 144 equals C squared. 25 plus 144 is 169, which is equal to C squared. And then to find what C is, if C squared is 169, then the square root of 169 will give us C. The square root of 169 is 13. Right, let's have a go at the other one then. Again, label your triangle A, B, and C, making sure that C is your longest side, the hypotenuse. It doesn't actually matter which way around you put your A and B, as long as your C is correct. So 8 squared plus 15 squared equals C squared. 8 squared is 64. 15 squared is 225 equals C squared. 64 plus 225 is 289, which equals C squared. To find out what C is, if C squared is 289, then the square root of 289 will be the answer to C, and that is 17. The square root of 289 is 17. Okay, have a go at this question on your own. See if you can do it by yourself. And the answer is 29 centimeters. Well done if you got that correct. Let's have a go at a slightly different question then. Now, this time the shorter sides are missing rather than the hypotenuse. The method still stays the same. We label our triangle A, B and C, and our Pythagoras' theorem remains the same too. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This time though, A we don't know. So we write it as A squared. B we do know is 21 and C is 29. So calculate those. A squared plus 21 squared is 441 and 29 squared is 841. This leaves us with A squared equals, and what does it equal? Now hopefully you remember from algebra, when we try and solve an equation we need to bring this over. That makes minus 441. 841 take away 441 equals 400. Now if A squared is 400, then A is the square root of 400, which is 20 centimeters. A is 20 centimeters. Okay, let's have a go at the second one then. Same as before. Label A, B and C. This time I know what A is. 7 squared plus B squared, I don't know what B is, equals 11 squared. So 49 plus B squared equals 121. Gives me B squared equals 72. 121 take away 49. if b squared is 72, b is the square root of 72, which is 8.49. Have a go at this question by yourself then. Write your answer to 2 decimal places. And the answer is 18.10 centimeters. Just before we finish then, I'd like to show you the quick way of doing these questions. So, same as before, you label. Now you can probably do this in your head now. A, B and C is the hypotenuse. And then straight away we start with our square root. Now for calculating the hypotenuse, we do a squared plus b squared under this square root. So that will be 5 squared plus 12 squared in brackets, and then straight into your calculator. That's going to give you your answer, which will hopefully give you 13 straight away. Now, if we're calculating the side that's not the hypotenuse, the same thing applies. Square root the whole thing, put it in brackets, and we make sure that we're taking away, and it's the hypotenuse first. 11 squared, take away 7 squared in the brackets, straight into the calculator, and it'll give you the answer straight away, 8.49. Much quicker, much easier, but you do need to understand the difference between when you're calculating a hypotenuse and when you're calculating a shorter side.